Okay, so this video is just like gathering loose ends, and I just wanted to clarify some things that I didn't mention, and I know I'm gonna forget other things anyway. But yeah, so like generally, like I feel like all these videos are like in bad taste, and like I feel like they're really gross, and I don't I don't like them at all. But I felt like I needed to leave something. Um, yeah. So I said before, like I didn't feel like I had a family, and I feel like that's really bad. And like obviously I do have a family, but it it's just not, it has not worked out. And when I look at other families and compare them to mine, it's just really different. So I just felt like I didn't really have a family, and I do blame. I can't help but blame some things on my family. Um, yeah, but at the same time, it's not. I don't want to blame them for anything, but also, um, when I talk about my family, it's mainly maybe that there's like people who I've never really connected with, and then like people like my mother who is like the main person. So it's like I don't know, but I feel really bad about even bringing it up. And there's some things that I haven't spoken about because they're really bad taste, and really maybe petty or just unnecessary to talk about. Right, is that? But yeah, it felt kind of gross, um, bringing it up. Um, it's like inappropriate as well. Another thing, what happened to the kitten? I didn't talk about that. So I was permitted to keep the kitten for a few days, um, but my mother actively looked for a home for this kitten, and I had to give him away to a little girl. I never met her, but they said there was this little girl and she'd lost her kitten. Like her cat had passed away, and I remember thinking like I had like little sympathy, because I thought, why, like I thought like I've gone through all this trouble to get this kitten. Like I felt so proud of myself that because at that time I wasn't social or anything. Like I wasn't really going out. I wasn't social in those days. I didn't talk to strangers much, but I had gone and like networked and like convinced this woman to allow me to adopt her kitten, and I thought it was such a good thing, you know. And then I just had to like throw that away. Like I just, and then, again, like years later, I still feel the same. As I said, I wouldn't do it again, but I still feel like I don't understand what was so terrible about that. Yeah, it just really bothered me. But I liked to like fantasize about how he looked grown up, because he was so cute. I did feel sorry to my cat, because I love my cat so much, and it was just unnecessary. But I think part of the reason I wanted to get him, because I just I was really disappointed that I never saw my cat as a kitten, and yeah. And then, yeah, speaking of, I think I said it before, yeah, I just love animals, and like when it comes to making a family, like that's something that I wish I could have done more than ever. Just make a family, even if it's not with people, with animals. I like just will become like a foster parent for cats and dogs and things. Like I just love the idea of just making a happy family. And previously I wasn't interested in children much, but after like living a bit more, I thought, yeah, actually I would like to have kids, and I'd love to just help them grow and make them happy, you know, and help them learn and everything. Just, yeah, it's a shame, such a shame. So I feel really bad about, it's just my fault. I don't know why I was like this, but basically I've cut my friends out at like every stage of my life. So like when we finished primary school at age 11 and went to secondary school, like I didn't keep in contact with my friends from primary school. It was obviously harder back then because we didn't have, I mean, some people had mobile phones, but I didn't. I didn't really call them or anything. I was just like, okay, it's the end. Even though we lived in the same town, I was just like, okay, bye. And then I did it again, secondary school again. I didn't talk to them anymore. And then college, again, I did it again. Like, I didn't make many friends, but again, I didn't keep in contact with them. That year at university again. Then, not year, the term at university. People I used to work with, I did it again. And then when I went to university, I didn't do it so much. Just like the first time I didn't cut people off terribly. But I still didn't keep in contact that much. But it was because I just wasn't happy about my situation, you know. I think if I'd gotten a job that I was proud of, I probably would have stayed in contact. The thing is, it's really bad. It's like, if I haven't been in contact with someone for a while and then they tell me a positive thing that's happened to them and I'm not in that position, I feel like I don't want to talk to them anymore. I used to feel like that. Yeah. Especially not just with jobs and things, but with relationships as well. So like, for the longest time, I never had a boyfriend or anything. Like, as I said before, I have been in love, so I at least had that. But I didn't have relationships. I didn't feel like I was attractive. I didn't get attention. The only attention I did get was from like middle-aged men, which now I know is like really creepy. Like from when I was 13, it's like, now I know they were pedophiles, like straight off. I know that now, but like that, and it's really creepy how much attention I would get from middle-aged men. Like, it would bother me. It would just make me so angry. I would be like, why can't boys my age like me, you know? And I did look young for my age. I remember my first ever job, I worked in a charity shop, and there was this man who would come in and like always talk to me, and like you could tell like, I think, oh, this man likes me, but he's really old. And back then people, they'd just be like, oh, and you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't really like older guys. But it was really inappropriate because like, you're like, oh, I was 16, I was 13, 14, 15, 16, like, and then when you're older, maybe 19, it's like, well, you look young. It just, but it used to just frustrate me more than anything because I didn't really understand. Part of the reason I enjoyed Japan so much is because finally, when I was on my year abroad, finally I could actually go on dates with guys who were the same age as me, or younger actually, like, yeah, because I went to university when I was like 25, so yeah. But finally I could experience dating, you know. But going to university, finally I could experience dating and just being social and things like that. But yeah, so I mean, thanks to Instagram and stuff, I was able to keep in contact with more people. But last year Instagram deleted my account. They deactivated it, and they think they had a reason, but that wasn't the reason, and I wasn't able to activate it again. And then I lost contact with so many people because I couldn't remember everyone. And that really bothered me. Like, I think I would be doing different things if they hadn't done that. It's really like, it's not normal for something like that to bother you so much, but it really did bother me because I didn't really have anything to show, you know. I didn't have that many followers, but I was thinking I could have tried to develop it more, and I could refer to it like as my social media. Like, look at this. I've been running this account this many years, and it just really bothered me. Like, how did they do that? It's just Very bad. Yeah. And I wanted to clarify what my current situation is. So a lot of my anxiety comes from financial situations. A lot of my anxiety and depression comes from whatever situation I'm in financially. Generally, if I'm doing okay, maybe not great, but if I'm doing okay, maybe I'm getting a regular income, and I always feel bad about borrowing money as well. Like I could never scam someone or steal. I can't really relax in that situation. So my current financial situation is my Japanese bank account. There's no money there. I don't have money for rent. I don't have money for bills. I don't have money for taxes. My UK bank account has been in the overdraft, which is £800 overdraft. I had to get that to pay my rent back when I was in university. There was one time where I got it to zero, but then never again. So I've just been in that for a while. I have a credit card which I've been paying off. There's about £1,300 left on that to pay off. I have a student loan, but I haven't started paying it back because I've never had to. I've never earned enough money to pay it back. I think because I'm living overseas, it's not as, it doesn't matter as much to them. I don't know what the threshold is, but I've never met it basically. Yeah, so I have no money, I have no backup. That's it. The situation now, like last month, my mother sent me money so I could pay rent and things. But I don't think I can do that again. And then this month I would have more bills. I've skipped some bills as well, which is pretty bad. So I don't know what's gonna happen. And yeah, I can't take more money. It's really bad. I'm aware of like how much it will cost to sort out whatever happens next, but I figured it would be the last time, so I just tried not to think about it really. So like my life hasn't been what I wanted it to be, and also I just need to like escape from money problems. So that's the main reason, like for my urgency. So I probably could exist for longer, but I feel like enough is enough. And yeah, I can enjoy watching TV shows and reading and things like that. Like reading is something I've gotten back into recently. I'm listening to music, but it's just everything else that goes with it, you know? The cost of living. And then that's not even talking about what's going on in the world at the moment. Yeah, it's just really hard at the moment. And then other things that I care about, like for some reason always caring about like visual appearance, aesthetics, things like that. Fashion, yeah. I take it really seriously, so that's another thing I can't really live with. The last thing I want to clarify, I didn't really go into like eating disorder. So like, the problem was that I've always been thin, but I was never thin enough for what I wanted to be, like, which is now. I'm finally the level of thin that I've always wanted to be. But the reason for that is because I became lactose intolerant, so I just can't eat enough anymore with what I want anyway. And then so I developed like binge eating disorder, and I used to just eat in the evenings until I was in pain. Like I had to be in pain to stop, and then like I would just have problems the next day. Like yeah, and I was able to quit that and it was amazing. I just felt so free, you know. Finally, I didn't have to worry about that. So I couldn't really focus on depression fully until I fixed that. Really, it's a good thing, a bad thing, I'm not sure about. Um, yeah, even though I was sad, I was still able to enjoy life because I didn't have an eating disorder anymore. And I used to watch so many like documentaries and things about anorexia and other things, and it never affected me in a way like, oh, this is a bad thing. No, I think, oh, this is good, you know. I never thought it was like a bad thing. Yeah, so I finally got over that. um yeah, I think I could live if I could manage it if financially I could get sorted out. But the thing is, I have just so many things I want. I find it so hard to live simply. Like, with getting a job, I can only get a job which is over a certain pay grade just so I can pay rent to live in this place, that kind of thing, so that I can pay my taxes, because I was getting paid at a certain level last year, and then I need to be able to pay that back. And so I have to, you know, I don't like struggling. I can't bear it. Like, as I said before, when I had that other job and I wasn't getting paid enough, it's like just so hard, you know. So I need someone to like take me in, like a millionaire or something. Just take me in and then I'll be fine, that kind of thing. If I hope that I would get a job by now. I can't believe how much I've been messed around. It's like, it's almost as if it's like a setup and they want me to do this. It's like, okay, we're making her in this horrible situation so that she, like, yeah, I don't know. Previously, I've been in similar situations and then something always comes through, you know? Like, I've been in a situation where I was at a job that I was getting bullied at. Not just me, everyone was getting bullied. And then the manager said, you don't work here anymore, basically, like in an email at 3 a.m. in the morning. And then I was like, okay, I won't go back. It's really bad. But then after that, like, even though I was crying, I managed to get a job at a cafe which I always dreamed of working at in Soho. Like, so things always work out in some way, you know. But this time they're not, and so I guess, yeah, it's time to give up. Yeah, it's a real shame. I think, yeah, I could live just by consuming entertainment and things, but there's just other things you have to worry about in life, and yeah. So most things are money, so I feel really bad about that. And I'm just really sorry. I'm sorry, and I think it really helps just to be told that you're doing well. I think people say it, like, if you're talking about a good situation, like a job, like, oh yeah, I got a new job at this, I got a great new job, I'm doing really well, and then someone will say, oh, well done, you know, well done. But sometimes, even if you talk about something that you're not doing well at, or you're not happy, I think it's good to just say, like, but you know what, you are doing really well. I think in English we don't really say that enough, and I haven't said it much either. I think sometimes, I think some people might feel like you are always the person who messages first, and then you feel like if you don't message that person, no one will ever talk to you as well. Well, I think people need to put more effort into messaging people, and I mean, if you really care about someone, I guess it's a difference. But yeah, sometimes you just really have to push. Like, now, I feel like I would try so much harder just to keep contact with my friends, and even if they don't respond, I would just keep pushing, because yeah, I understand now so much why people don't want to talk so much. It's really hard for me. I don't know if other people feel the same, when you're not doing well, to actually contact people first. I don't see the point. Like, I always felt like I needed news. Like, oh, how are you? Or how are you? Yeah, this happened, you know? Not just talk about nothing. Not just like, oh yeah, I've been watching this new show. no. Um, so yeah, keep in contact with people, and if you know that someone is struggling, like, you could keep talking to them, because it's really easy to lose someone and say that they're doing well. Like, of everything, you come this far. If you might not know, maybe you could ask them to tell you like everything in their life. I've never really told anyone from like this part of my life. I've never told anyone about the previous things, like my dreams and what happened and everything. I understand that like it doesn't have to affect you so much that it just ruins your life when you had your dreams broken, but for me it just really did, and I could never get over it. I tried, but in the end, like, I just couldn't.